This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, todo para todos, nada para nosotros. This land was made for you and me.
Hi, I'm Jose Antonio Vargas. I'm a journalist, I'm a filmmaker. I'm the founder of DefineAmerican.com, an organization that seeks to humanize the millions of undocumented immigrants in this country. I myself is actually undocumented. I grew up in the Bay Area, was born in the Philippines, and have made this country my home.
Growing up in the Philippines, I always knew I was going to America. America seemed inevitable.
Jose Antonio Vargas of The Washington Post.
Jose Antonio Vargas is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist.
I lived the American dream, building a successful career as a journalist. But I was living a lie. I'm gonna tell you something that I haven't told a lot of people, okay? So I'm actually an undocumented immigrant. I am an illegal alien. I'm about to come out about this nationally. I'm writing a story about my being undocumented. I'm launching a whole campaign about what it means to be an American and the fact that I am an American. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Maybe this is a stupid question, but like, aren't you afraid of like any repercussions?
Oh God, yes. Oh my God, it's terrifying. This is definitely the riskiest thing I've ever done. I'm in this to have some sort of impact. So I'm launching a whole campaign about what it means to be an American and the fact that I am an American.
My name is Erika Andiola. I'm from Colombia.
From Nigeria.
From Brazil.
I'm an undocumented immigrant from Germany.
We mow your lawn. We work at your houses. Maybe we're your doctors. Maybe we're nurses. We're not who you think we are. I've written hundreds of articles throughout my career, but this was different. This was personal. Can you imagine all my fake documents are going to be for everybody to see? Lawyers told me it was legal suicide. I could never be employed once I revealed my status. Worse, I could get deported. This is what we call the truth. Now, this is my mom. Relatives were worried. I was exposing a family secret, and I was exposing them. The essay was published in the New York Times Magazine. They called it Outlaw. I wanted to write the article not only for myself, but for countless others who couldn't write it. Being undocumented means living a different kind of reality. It means going about my day in fear of being found out. It means reluctantly, even painfully, doing things I know are wrong and unlawful. It means being separated from family. It's been almost 18 years since I've seen my mother. I'm done running. I'm exhausted. I don't want that life anymore. Now, we are so busy calling people illegal and obsessing over a border that we are not asking the harder questions to get at a greater truth. I am sad to report that as a journalist, and I'm even sadder to report that as an American. The fact that we haven't even told and scratched the surface when it comes to the story of tying the fact that immigrants in this country it's not just about immigrants, it's the story of a changing country. It's a story of what 51% of all Californians aged 25 and under is Latino or Latina. 51%. It's the story that the fact that the next 50 years, 88% of this country's total population growth is going to come from mostly Latinos and Asians. 88%. A country that hasn't even figured out the black and white thing has now gotten way more complicated.
What you're about to watch are stories that represent the tens of thousands of undocumented young people in this country who are not only struggling, but are surviving and have made this country their home. So here are stories from my American dreams.
Hey,
brother, there's an endless road to rediscover.
My mom's from Bogota, Colombia, from Latin America. My dad's from Isola d'Elba, Italy. As a child of immigrants, there have definitely been struggles that I've had to overcome.
I met Giovanni when we were in 5th grade. We had a class together, Mr. Otto's class, I think it was.
I've known Diego since I was about 9 years old. We went to elementary school together, went to middle school together.
And then high school in Sonoma State. We were on the same soccer teams.
We listen to a lot of the same music, so lots of shared experiences.
Got a long ways to go.
It's been since 5th grade, since we were 9. It's 25 now? Wow. So.
Yeah. You know what? I lied. This is where it ends.
Get out of here.
I think the major chasm between my experience growing up as a child of immigrants and Diego's is just the comfort of being a citizen right off the bat.
The biggest differences from our families were that although Gio's families were immigrants, they have legal status.
I just happened to be born here, he didn't.
This is the culture I've grown up in, I was raised in, this is the life I know, but I'm not American. I can't be. I wasn't born here. My family brought me over to the US when I was a little over a year old. When I really finally understood everything was in high school. I realized that I wouldn't be able to get a license, I wouldn't be able to get a job, and really see myself going too far with my education because I couldn't get any financial aid. It just made me think, why? Why even bother? Why try?
What if I'm far from home? Oh, brother, I will hear you call. What if I lose it all?
When my DACA was approved, it just completely turned my world upside down for the better. I was not going to be deported. It allowed me to get a job.
So she's right now doesn't have any status, completely without Social Security number, driver's
Working at the law firm has been a great experience. You have to familiarize yourself with cases and people's backgrounds and stories. Did we get passport photos?
Let me see what he brought. Now that this relief is here with DACA, he's a whole nother person. He's just no holds bars. You want to go do something? Yeah, let's go. Let's travel across the country.
I went to Boston.
We drove across the country just to go see his brother's graduation, and there was absolutely no fear of anything, just so confident.
It was great to travel for the first time. Americans sometimes don't fully understand immigrants. They're just like me. I'm just a young guy working, trying to make a living, trying to grow up in a country that is my home, the only home I've known.
Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle neath your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight. Sometimes a shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you want to say.
I first started coming at Annalee my freshman year, and since the beginning I kind of felt that I was safe and I was around my friends and people who I knew.
In high school, I've been able to grow more into myself and become more comfortable around people. I'm not scared anymore. This is the place where I can be myself.
I originally participated in this project because I just love filming and editing, and I wanted to broaden my horizon.
I just wanted to join this project because I thought it would be like a great experience to have a video that could make a change in the society.
Being able to actually capture their response is pretty special because you get this kind of experience once in a lifetime.
You ready? Okay. So what age were you when you first came to the United States?
I didn't have a legal status when I first came here, and at the young age of 5 I knew I didn't have it because it was just always surrounding me.
When I first came here, it was turn off all the lights, stay quiet in the house, don't make a noise, and don't go outside. That was my childhood.
And it's frustrating because these little things we should be able to do. Like, some years ago, people were talking about getting their licenses, and you're just kind of sitting there like, I know I'm not going to get it because there's nothing right now, that can permit me to get a license.
If there's any cops around, if there's any sort of violence and I'm caught up in it, I'm going to be deported.
Maria and Bismarck have gone through more than I can ever imagine.
Listening to all the experiences they went through, like Bismarck traveling like on the bus and stuff, and Maria like hiding in the trunk of a car.
I was starting to like cry about that because it's like it got to me what they were saying.
I had no idea about the whole DREAM Act and everything that surrounds that, so I think it was definitely, I didn't know anything about it, and I think a lot of people at our school are kind of in the dark on subjects like that.
What I want to say about Maria and Bismarck is that they are the only two undocumented students here at Annalee that have actually publicly come out as being undocumented.
I've known Maria and Bismarck through classes and stuff that I've had with them, and never thought of the people around me if they were citizens or not, especially at high school. You just don't think of that. Sit right here.
Maria is a senior, and she works after school and on the weekends. Last semester, her mother had like a mild stroke, and Maria had to go to work to support her family.
Been in school with her since I was very small. She was very quiet before, but now it's amazing to see how they actually want to impact their community and make a change.
Vamos a tener un paseo al... I haven't really ever thought of myself as a leader, but a lot of people have told me that, oh, you're a great leader. And it's a good thing because when you can influence other people, it's a good feeling to get a lot of people together for the same reason.
Bismarck's story is like, he's like helped a lot of people as well, like what experiences he's gone through and overcome. He's like helping others now, like help them get through it.
I like helping students to find hope and to become better educated and to find a way to keep going.
Ever since I was little, everyone's always been told, you can't do this, you can't do that, and I want to prove them wrong. I started to take on hurdles because every single person was like, you're too short to jump that, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. I saw hurdles as just an obstacle, and I made the correlation that a hurdle is each different problem in my life. So I was like, I'm just gonna jump each hurdle and overcome each issue, and I'm gonna win.
I didn't think about it before at all, and now like looking, I think, wow, okay, they're a huge part in our community, they're volunteering everywhere, they're helping. It's very, it's exciting and joyful to see that even though they weren't born here, they're not citizens of here, they still want to help out the community, they still want to be involved and be here as much as they can.
My name is Denia Smeidi Candela Olea. And I am a student at Sonoma State University. I'm an applied statistics major with a concentration in the actuarial field. I liked math. It was the one thing that was the same across the world. Everywhere you go, math is going to be the same, no matter what language you're picking, no matter what you're doing. Math is going to be the same. I was born and raised in Acapulco, you know, beautiful Acapulco. I came here in 6th grade. Looking for a dream. When I got here, I would get made fun of a lot. I mean, bullied for my accent, talked down a lot. I was so lost. Somewhere there's a silent voice. That is when I met Betsy. Learning how to say. She was my counselor. She was the first one to set the word college to me. I was like, oh, I had no idea that even existed. She was there to listen, and she made me feel like it was possible. Then we went into high school, and I was still focused on my academics, and that summer I met Oswaldo. I had just turned 15 when I met him. I'm trying to figure out who I am, who I want to be. Lo and behold, I found out I was pregnant. So those were tough times. There was a home meeting set up eventually. It was Betsy, my English teacher, of the vice principal. I made it very clear, I want to continue with my AP classes. I want to go to a four-year college. Please help me out. And that's what they all did. After Damien was born, you know, I graduated. I got into Sonoma State. When I got DACA, it just became more and more obvious that there were going to be more open doors. I started going off and looking for jobs everywhere. Children's School, this is Denia. And I got a job at the children's school where my son was going to school.
I'm gonna sign you in. Gotta wash your hands.
I didn't want to be your immigrant, 16-year-old Hispanic that gets pregnant and then boom, stays at home and cooks for the husband and that's it. That's what it was. So stereotypical.
Good morning, Lissy. How are you?
I hated that idea, like with a passion.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Damien's definitely a big inspiration.
Didn't you grab my hat? Whoa. Careful. Ready to go?
I grew up because I had to, and I don't regret any minute of it.
Give me a big kiss. I love you.
That child's meant to be here.
Dear Denia, you are a fireball, and don't let anyone ever change that about you.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Denia, ¿cómo estás? I expect nothing but great things from you. I expect you to give back to your community, to those who share a common story. I love you, and I believe in you. Never forget that.
Dear Denia, the only words I have to say is I wouldn't know what to do without you, and I am very grateful that you are in my life. You are a wonderful student, an amazing, amazing mother, and a wonderful, wonderful wife. I love you very much.
I have been here forever, underneath the sky, watching the way the clouds.
I'm a construction worker. I'm mainly focused on the ground, doing dirt work. I enjoy working with my hands, feeling things. I think my main thing is just being outside, enjoying the weather, smelling the air, the wind. I just like
Forever,
just feel free.
the birds singing sweetly, ancient melodies, hearing the prayers of people.
I heard about the DACA when I was finishing my college. Signed up for it and then they accepted me right away because my record's clean, just doing good stuff, working, helping out, playing sports. Just be a good citizen, pretty much.
So this is the historic Asti Villa, and it was built in the 1800s by the Italian-Swiss colony that was here.
I'm the founder and one of the owners of Carmadog Construction.
It's flooded a number of times over the years. So the first thing we did in here was walls that were falling apart, we opened up.
We believe in investing in our employees and trying to teach them to do construction the way we want to do it. Adrian shows up to work ahead of time. He wants to learn the trade and learn it well. He's not afraid to ask questions. He's not afraid to get in and try new things.
I always tell Preston now I appreciate what they're doing for me because I don't have that much skills, especially like doing carpenter or doing other landscaping. They give you the opportunity to learn.
We'll mix in the aggregate and I'll show you how to mix up this epoxy. He knows that he can grow in his profession. He can get better at what he does. He can move up the ladder. You're just gonna mix it up. It's obviously a work ethic that he's learned from his family.
My parents are my root, you know. They have raised me like you had to work for it. You had to work for it to have something. You had to work for it to be someone. I used to help out my parents work on the vineyards. Whenever I got out of school, I would go with them and help them out.
Latinos that are here now, they're just the latest wave. Frankly, you could take every single person in this country, and every single one of us has descended from an immigrant, unless we're a Native American. So the majority of this country descended from hard-working immigrants, and that's what this country is based on.
I don't consider myself Mexican or American. I consider just being a human being. Just a human being with having the same rights as anyone else, having the opportunities as anyone else.
When I look at the world, I imagine what it would look like if it was a painting. Being an artist comes from the idea that you can take something and transform it.
When I think of home, what do I picture in my mind? It is the vineyards, it's family, it's children.
I like people who are working. There's such a beauty in people who work. There's something so genuine and just human about such activity.
I also put in my pictures the border. This is very central to here, so this is specific. But in my other works, I talk about landscape and the politics of landscape. And who gets to be in it and who doesn't.
So when they ask me exactly what do I think and what do I believe in the truth.
Learned that you don't tell people that you're undocumented. For a long time, I felt very choked up. I couldn't speak. To be able to get from a point where you are quiet about it all to a point where you speak about it openly took me forever. And now I feel like I'm starting to be able to speak. The thing is that you cannot separate your work you make from who you are and what you have experienced. They have to be somewhat connected. I don't have to make work about immigration reform, but I want to because it is my reality. And it is a reality of a lot of people, and we learn to know that that's going on, but not to speak about it. It's this politeness. It's a very hurtful politeness because we know it's a real issue. So that's why I want to know how to make images, and I want to meet people and become a better painter.
Her passion comes through in her work, and I think that is the mark of a true artist.
I think her art really touches on the most important topics that she thinks about every day. The community can really relate to what she's portraying in her images.
I would describe her as very passionate.
I think she's a really great person and has a really brave heart.
She's amazing. I mean, I don't know where she gets the energy. I don't know how she does all this, but I can see that she can be anything she wants. I mean, she already proved it. She has proven all that.
I think I will do art forever. And the reason is because I love it. It is fun. It gives me a sense of joy. It makes the world be okay. And it gives me a voice. And to have a voice in a country where you don't have the right to vote and you're considered almost like not a person, it is a freedom. To be an artist, it is a freedom because you get to have a voice and you get people to listen to that voice. But you get to make something beautiful. So regardless of how hard the subject matter is, or how sweet it is, or if it represents the struggle, if it is beautiful, if it talks about what pain is about, then it is all okay.
Yo también canto América. Soy el hermano de piel oscura. Me mandan a comer a la cocina cuando llega la visita, pero me río y como bien y crezco más fuerte. Mañana estaré sentado en la mesa. Cuando llegue la visita, nadie se atreverá a decir, come en la cocina. Sin embargo, verán mi belleza y les dará vergüenza. Yo también soy América.